Hello everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps and our Espresso Yourself soap making collection. Now if you missed the announcement before, I recently launched my collaboration with 𝐷𝐸𝐸𝐸. So if you are interested in making cold process soap either for the first time or leveling up your game with some pro equipment, check out the link below. And hey, if you're just a crafter, a candle maker, you make sugar scrubs, I have an entire collaborative fragrance line with them. They are extremely strong fragrance oil. A little bit goes a long way. And I'm just so proud of everything that we did there. So check it out at the link below. Back in May, we made this matcha boba soap and so many of you guys were like, yes, make more boba tea soaps. And that's exactly what we're gonna do today. So without further ado, let's make some taro milk tea soap. All right, let's get our lye water solution into our oils. The recipe I'm using today can be found down in the description box below. The recipe is written in percentage form, not in ounces or grams, because the mold size that you are using, I promise, will be not as big as the one I'm using in today's video. Go ahead and blend this up. Lovely. Let's pour off our brown sugar boba layer. This is where all of our little boba soap balls will be. Just gonna pour very gently. Lovely. Gonna mix up a little bit of brown oxide. Always blend for longer than you think you need to. And a little bit of TD. Going to blend this. Perfect. Going to add in our taro fragrance oil and blend well. Good, I can see that the soap is about medium trace right now. Hello everyone, I am super excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Craftsy. And stay tuned to the end of this because this is the best offer that has ever been given to the royal court by anybody. Craftsy is my go-to online resource for all things creative. Whether you are into knitting, baking, painting, or any other craft, Craftsy has a class for you. I started my crochet journey last fall, and ever since then I have been struggling to nail the granny square. I know, don't make fun of me. They say that's one of the easiest things to do, and yet I still struggled. That is until I watched the class Classic Crochet, the Granny Stitch by Tamara Kelly. I literally watched it one time and a granny square. I started crochet because I wanted to make the cute amigurumi plushies, and Craftsy has an amazing class called Amigurumi Woodland Animals if you would like to make some of these cute plushies like I made. The step-by-step instructions by extremely talented instructors make this entire process so easy. Craftsy offers over 2,000 classes in all different sort of crafty subjects like sewing, baking, quilting, painting, plus there are new classes constantly being added to the website. Another cool thing about the Craftsy platform is that they do lives, so you can join in to whatever they are crafting and ask your questions in real time. Okay, so here's the best part. The first 1,000 people to sign up for Craftsy using my link down below can get a premium Craftsy membership for an entire year, 365 days, for $1.49. Yes, that's right. Access the entire Craftsy platform, all of the classes, all of the lives, for less than a cup of coffee. Once again, all you have to do is click the link down in the description box below to join Craftsy today and start your creative journey. Thank you so much to Craftsy for sponsoring today's video, and let's continue our soap making. So I can pour some into my soap mold, just enough to cover the bottom. And we can add our little black soap pieces. These are made out of cold processed soap, and we're just gonna sprinkle them all around. Making super round, like incredibly symmetrical, cold processed soap balls that would look exactly like boba would be extremely difficult, namely because I would have to create a cylindrical mold, and we would have to make, I'm not not joking, like 25 of those molds. I'm not a master mold maker. That is not part of my job. So if the mold isn't readily available to purchase on the market, and right now it's not for this particular shape and for the quantity that I would need within a reasonable price, this really makes it look extremely similar to boba. It creates the effect without me having to create the mold. Also, legitimately kind of looks like a chocolate chip cookie. I'm not going to shake this down at this point because I want it to look gloopy. Drinks are rarely even, but I do want there to look like there is a lot of boba balls in here. Not being too particular, just making sure that everybody gets a fair amount here. Also trying to knock some of the ones down that are too mounded up. We don't want them all to be like sitting exactly on top of each other. That won't look nearly as good. All right, let's go ahead and scrape this out. Also, I will mention, over the years, I've had a couple of people, when they use my soap recipe, be like, why don't you just put the recipe in grams first? Like I said, I want it to be resizable for anyone making soap in a container smaller than mine, but also, I feel that if you do not know how to take a soap recipe in percentage form, run it through soapcalc.net, and change the size based on percentage, you probably aren't ready to start crafting using your own recipes yet. So it's essentially kind of like a safeguard for other people that are trying to make soap, that you kind of have to be able to get past that first step before using the recipe, because I don't want you to have to waste your raw materials because you're not quite ready yet. If you want to start making soap using my recipes, I have free tutorials here on YouTube. You can look up the Royal Creative Academy and I'll tell you exactly how much to use using cheaper ingredients that won't break your bank. All right, let's move this off to the side. And now we're going to make the taro milk tea layer. I say taro, I know people say taro. It's whatever you want. Adding some Reborn Purple from TKB with a little bit of Pow Pow Purple from Mad Micas. Add a little bit of titanium dioxide and go ahead and blend this on up. Okay, admittedly, this is a little more purple than I was originally going for, so I'm going to mix up a little bit of titanium dioxide to add to it. I already added some, I clearly just didn't add enough. Let's go ahead and add the rest of our fragrance oil. Going to add by hand. This fragrance oil doesn't accelerate or anything, it's just I'm trying to scrape the bottom and the sides. I could not find a fragrance oil supplier that had a scent for boba tea or for taro or really much of any sort of bubble tea at all. And the one that I could find was from a fragrance house I had never tried before, and they didn't have any like listing information about vanillin content, so I didn't know if the fragrance discolored or not. It was really hard trying to find a scent for this. So I actually ended up going with a blackberry scent because it kind of matched the purple. I knew it would have like the berry sweetness, and I also knew it wouldn't discolor because it's pretty important that this soap stays looking purple. Just gonna scrape this out rather quickly and give it a good tap. That first layer is already set up. It actually doesn't have to be perfect, and honestly, it's better if it's not, so I'm just gonna kind of flop this around a little bit. This next layer is supposed to look like a milk foam, sorta, so better if everything looks kind of chunky. Okay, I have my ice cubes here, and just for funsies, I'm gonna throw a couple of them in here before I add this next layer, just so that when we cut it, it'll look even more like ice cubes in a tea that are kind of floating around. Then we'll add the rest to the top. Let's go ahead and add this on. Ugh, this is gorgeous. All my dreams are coming true. Don't worry, I'll smooth it out a little bit more. Obsessed. Okay, let's smooth this out. Not worried about those ice cubes because, again, we're trying to make this look look like a bubble tea. It doesn't have to be perfect. But everyone does need some of this foam on top, and I probably do need to tap those air bubbles out just a little bit before I go in and add some more of the ice cubes. I have a little bit of this like raspberry eco glitter from a company that isn't even around anymore. So I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of that on there before we add our ice cubes. Here's the ice cubes up close. We always make them with a little bit of Sparkle Me Aqua to give that kind of like blue icy feel. The bigger ones I am like kind of pushing in a little bit because when I cut this soap tomorrow, I don't want them to fall off. The smaller ones I can kind of throw around at leisure because those are in no danger of that. Every single time I make these soap ice cubes with the Empress of Embeds, my sister Shelly herself, I'm like, okay, just kind of make different sizes. And I'm so haphazard with like soap creation. I'm like, I go by feelings alone that she's like, okay, what do you mean by random? I'm like, okay, you know, just like random cut, a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. And she's like, okay, but actual dimensions would help. And I'm like, no, just go with your feelings. She's like, feelings aren't measurable or quantifiable, so that's an absolute no. How do I know that I'm going to do it right? And then she does it right every single time. When you have as many sisters as I do, there are 6 of us in total, so I have 5 sisters. When you have as many sisters as I do, there are some overlaps in personalities, and then there's also some really, really big gaps. I would say that Shelly and I have among the biggest personality gaps, and Emmy and I have the closest. My sister Penny is like a mesh of all of us. Everyone loves my sister Polly unconditionally, and she has the best personality out of all of us. And my sister Marilee, she is kind of doing her own thing right now. Of course, she is also very young. She's only 7, so who knows what's gonna happen with that, but she's showing a lot of very strong personality traits, and I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up being a bit more of a blend as well. If you've ever seen the like Barbie Life of the Dream House thing on Netflix, and hey, I'm not hating if you don't have any kids and you just sat down and watched that for fun. I may or may not have done that. It's a great show. My sisters always say that I am like Barbie, Shelly is like Skipper. Okay, I'm just gonna press these down gently before adding our final glitter. That's pretty great. These are sticking really, really good. I'm so excited. Why does it look so good though? And it smells even better. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this Mermaid Trails glitter. This is from Mad Micah's. I'm gonna sprinkle that all over the top. All over the top, precious. All over the top. Yes, give it that icy shine. And that is it. We're done. This is the soap I am most excited to cut, and we will do so in 18 to 24 hours after this quick commercial break. Okay, tell me this does not look exactly like taro boba. I'm so freaking psyched. Okay, I'm gonna press down pretty quick because we want those melt and pour pieces to be cut, not broken. Let's pull some out of the middle, and this is what they look like on the inside. Ah, they're so cute. All the little boba pieces look awesome. Look at that with our little ice cube flowing. Can you see how shiny it is now that it's been cut? I feel like you can see it a lot better once it's been cut. I'm obsessed with this. I am keeping a bar. It is immediately going to my shower after cure time, like popping the little ice cubes in. Ah! Okay, guys, what's your go-to boba order? Because I need to change it up. I get the same thing every time. I get a coconut bubble tea every single time. I've got to branch out. I really have to. My mom always gets the taro, and so does my son Will, and they are obsessed with it. I really like it too, but like I want to try something else. What do I need to order? Tell me in the comments below. This could not have turned out any better. I'm thrilled to death. It smells delicious. It's so sweet. I love that we were able to use cold processed soap as the boba bits at the bottom, and the little ice cubes are such a cute addition. Like, I could go on and on about this. I am definitely stealing a couple of these for myself. They'll be available on September 6th at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. That is a Friday night. And I have officially made a matcha boba tea. I have made a taro milk boba tea. What other boba teas do I need to make? I will be paying close attention to the comments of this video because I know you guys are gonna leave me some really good recommendations. Be sure you do something fun for yourself today, like going out and getting yourself a boba, or maybe learning how to make boba yourself. But you know, I don't really care what you do, just do something for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Meow.